2009 NASCAR Canadian Tire Series season is well into the second half of the year. The nation's fastest series pulls into the half-mile paperclip-shaped track at Mosport for the chase to the championship.
Canada's best stock car drivers have crisscrossed the country, entertaining fans while battling for position atop the leaderboard. Two drivers have stood out from the rest. These past two champions are now on a mission to become the first repeat champion. Andrew Ranger, the 2007 champion, has won 3 races and leads the Castrol points chase. While Scott Steckley, the 2008 champion, gains momentum from his big win last week in Saskatoon. Two warriors in search of a series repeat. This is the 2009 NASCAR Canadian Tire Series, presented by Mobil 1. From the half mile near Bowmanville, Ontario, this is the Vortex Brake Pads 200. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mosport Speedway. I'm Dave Bradley. Along with me is Billy Rouse Jr. and Todd Lewis, as always, is manning the pits. Billy, we're back from a pretty successful Western road trip. Stops in Vernon, BC, Edmonton, Alberta, and, of course, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
Well, Ranger and Steckley liked it for sure because they won all the races out there. But more importantly, Ranger got his first oval win, and he dominated the tarmacs at Edmonton. Oh, my God, he had that thing on cruise control. And Steckley, going to a brand-new racetrack in Saskatoon, had a whale of an outing and got to victory lane.
And actually, Scott Steckley will debut a brand-new Levitt chassis here today at Mosport. And those two drivers are atop the Castrol point standings. Andrew Ranger with a 31-point cushion over Steckley. Guys like Simoni, Beauchamp, and Kennington will have to keep on their toes in order to keep up as we move into the second half of the season.
Well, this racetrack right here might help them with that because historically the 27 and the 22 haven't had real good finishes. So if they do stumble today, it would give the other guys an opportunity to make up some points.
And we will have a couple of new faces in the lineup here today. Out of New Liskeard, Ontario, in the 15 is Stephen Matthews, a local late model standout driver. He'll be driving the brand new Mike McCall Ford.
Well, it's well prepared on a Mike shop for sure, and he's got some real good advice happening down there in the pit box. Kenny Kellestein and Ronnie Sheridan. Ronnie Sheridan's a dynamite driver himself, and if the boy listens to him, he'll have a good outing.
And it's a long way from Mobil, Alabama to Mosport Speedway, but that's where Cale Gale calls home. He'll be driving the number 13 Rheem Chevrolet, standout of the ARCA series, who's run some nationwide races as well. They have tested, and they plan on doing a number of other races in the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series this year. And with more on Cale, let's send it down to Todd.
Thanks, guys. Cale Gale, you got your first taste in these NASCAR Canadian Tire Series machines a little bit earlier today. Had a qualifying effort. What are you hoping for in the 200 laps scheduled for tonight?
Hopefully we can put our Rheem Chevrolet up front. All the guys have been working real hard today, and I think we've made some good changes. I mean, we'll see. We qualified 8th. Felt like we might have been a little bit better than that, but that's where we ended up. So it's been a lot of fun. There's a lot of good competition up here. A lot of guys that's been running this series a long time, and excited about running the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series. So
well put. Yeah, that's great. All right, Cale and 20 other drivers took time trials a little bit earlier, and it was the number 4 Home Hardware Chevrolet of Don Thompson Jr. who claimed the pole position. In fact, it's Donnie's second consecutive pole position. He passed with a time of 21.839 seconds, or a speed of almost 82.5 miles per hour. He'll lead them into corner number 1 as we're getting set for 200 laps of racing here at Mosport Speedway.
Welcome back to Mosport Speedway. The 8th round of the 2009 NASCAR Canadian Tire Series is brought to you by Mopar, authentic performance. And next time, choose Castrol. Visit ChangeYourOilChangeYourLife.com.
The Vice President, Brian Watts, according to the Vortex break, to give the command we've all been waiting for. Fellas?
Drivers, start your engine! Multi-time champion Don Thompson Jr. fires up his Home Hardware Chevrolet as he tries to get his season back on track here in 2009. Alongside of him is Glencoe, Ontario's Brad Graham in the number 19 Locals Dodge Avenger.
Well, Mike Knott and the Graham team worked very hard on that car to make it fast and consistent, and it certainly showed up in practice and qualifying.
We'll ride on board with the Vortex Avenger, Jason Hathaway today, and there's a good look at our highest qualifying rookie, Stephen Matthews. He's going to start in the 4th spot here today.
Yeah, he did a great job. As we said in the opening, he's just got to listen to his advisors in the pit box there. Ronnie Sheridan will call a great race for him. Just keep his nose clean and make these guys trust him and respect him.
Field starts to roll. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineup. On pole is Don Thompson Jr. There's Brad Graham in the 19 outside of the front row. DJ Kennington's in the 17. And there's Stephen Matthews, the rookie, in the 15. Mark Dilley drives the 9. Scott Steckley is in the 22. They make up row number 3. Then we'll look back to row number 4. Anthony Simoni in the 95. Cale Gale with his first start in the 13. Row number 5 is Andrew Ranger in the 27. John Gaunt in the 12. And then row number 6 says Joey McComb in the 50. Jason Hathaway in the 3 will start to the outside. Dave Whitlock drives the 39. He's got a win already this year. And Ron Beauchamp Jr. drives the 60. That's row number 7. Then row number 8 has Ken Noon in the 18. Kerry Mix in the 02. Taking a look back to row number 9, Jason White in the 21, Joey Hansen in the 40. Both those drivers from a fair distance away. Then Dexter Stacy drives the 55, Hugo Vanini in the 97. Couple of Quebecers making a start here at Mosport. And in the 23, Jeff Lapsevich.
And the Lapsevich crew did a gear change right after qualifying as they're still trying to figure out the gear combinations for that spec motor.
Jeff, along with a handful of other drivers, be able to test that spec motor and see what it's like on these long straightaways. Well, long short track straightaways anyway. With a check and a couple stories we're following, let's check in with Todd. Todd?
Couple of quick things before we go green, fellas. The number 40 Prime Champ Dodge of Joey Hansen, he's currently our rookie points leader, has a couple of top 10 finishes to his credit. Chasing him, the number 55 Dexter Stacy really got hurt by not being able to run at Vernon after a practice crash. And the 23 Tim Hortons Chevrolet of Jeff Lapsevich, starting tail tonight, had a terrible qualifying lap. That was his description, and wound up taking a provisional. He's hoping to charge to the front.
Well, that's right, Todd. This car here had to be completely rebuilt. This is the one we seen wrecked at St. Eustache early in the year, and the boys had to do a lot of front-to-back work. They have tested, and the car sits pretty good. Hopefully it'll work through traffic.
Absolutely. We'll see in just a short period of time as the field has lined up side by side. Quick onboard shot from the Canadian Tire Avenger of Scott Steckley as the field works through corners number 3 and 4. Don Thompson Jr. looking for the green. Bill McFarland from Dickies, Canada, has it in his hand as the field works on the front stretch for green and underway in Mosport.
Up through the gearbox, lap 1. Don Thompson got a great start. He'll lead down through turn 1 and 2 and up the backstretch for the first time.
A tough place to get around on the outside as you see Brad Graham and the Logos Dodge on the high line. Slip it back a little bit as DJ Kennington of the Castrol Dodge slips past.
Oh, hung out to dry on the outside. Dilly got a great drive in the bottom. He's trying to keep that 19 on the high side. Graham will pull it down the bottom and keep the spot.
Lap number 1 in the books. That's 5 bonus points for Don Thompson Jr. in the Home Hardware Chevy as he opens up about a 3-car length lead now over the 17 of DJ Kennington. Good look at young Stephen Matthews racing alongside the reigning series champion Scott Steckley.
Good look there. That car is hooked up right around the bottom. He was good in practice. Look at it fly the nose right up on the rear springs, getting lots of forward bite.
And this has got to be a pretty good education for the youngster, Stephen Matthews. He hasn't been in full-bodied stock cars for very long. He ran bits of a season, a local touring series here in Ontario. He's run a number of local short tracks in the late model series as well. But now he's racing side by side, now hanging on the back bumper of Steckley.
That spec motor at work underneath there, done a great job. This thing's a really hauling mill. You hear Steckley's car just hit the button. What I mean by the button is a rev limiter. It just keeps the motor from over revving at the end of the straightaway.
Well, Steckley hits the button. Mark Dilly hits the back of the 19 as he touched him getting down into corner number 3. Brad Graham grabs a handful of wheel, and these two are so close. Look at that.
Very close match cars there right now. And the important part of this, I know it's early in the race, but you got to get your car in position to win. And what that means is if you got a car you can pass, can't waste time sitting behind them.
Good look at the battle for 10 spot. The Mopar Dodge Avenger of Ron Beauchamp Jr. inside of the 13 of Cale Gale in the Reen Chevrolet, all the way from Mobile, Alabama, as he goes to work here at Mosport.
Well, a long way from home for sure. But, you know, these guys here in Canada, they're used to traveling a lot, too. This series has been coast to coast so far this season.
Gale seemed pretty excited to get to work and race against some of these boys he got to practice with earlier today. He said level of competition here was pretty good, and he had a little bit of work ahead of him in figuring out these race cars.
Well, you know, he does a lot of testing down south for a chassis builder, so he's got lots of laps in stock cars, so he's not shy of experience, that's for sure. But, you know, everybody that's come to race up here in Canada over the years has got to understand we race stuff up here a little different than dog sleds and snowmobiles. Race cars are pretty competitive.
Absolutely. Look at how competitive they are as Andrew Ranger bumps the 95 of Anthony Simone out of the way, and Ranger will take that spot. Here comes John Gott in the high-tech 12, and Gott looking to steal away a position as well. And right on Beauchamp.
Well, down in the corner, watch this side-by-side action. Drag race down the backstretch. Mopar against Chevrolet, and the Mopar wins the drag race.
8th position now for John Gott in the 12 as he tries to close the gap on the 27. And now that Simone is up on the outside, Beauchamp's going to come through and steal away 9th.
Well, around here at Mosport, the outside does not work here. The bottom is the fast way around. And look at this, Don Thompson Jr. been reeled in by the DJ Kennington automobile. This is going to get tight up front.